people who go, young people aren't reading comics. Yeah, they are. They're just not reading the ones you want them to read.
See, and look, I just want to point out, I love that answer, Steven. I don't care what comics they read. I just like to know that the young are reading. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
as far as I
Yeah.
know, comics are doing very well with the younger crowd, which I love saying that. It's like Ed Sullivan. And now we have an act for the young people.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I'm gonna say, man, I half want to ask the next question based on the fact that we're talking about younger people, but I feel like based on the fact that I prefer my comics like this because I'm OG, and my partner better take the next question. I said like this, bro, just in case you didn't catch that.
Yeah. I personally like webtoons and digital comics because there's no space taking over, you know?
Yeah.
Um, he wants to ask, and I want to know, what do you think of that and how it's impacted the industry itself?
Digital comics and webtoons.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. I love it. I love digital comics. I mean, I do all my reading on a tablet now. All my comics reading on a tablet now.
Yes.
Because one, the colors really pop,
Thank
and
you.
two, I don't need a closet. I mean, my closets are full of comics. I don't need
Uh,
any more comics. I don't need any more paper in my house. It's like I
Thank
can fit
you.
hundreds of comics on a two. I get a 256K chip about this big. You can fit hundreds and hundreds of comics on it, and they look great. You can read them. If you're having trouble reading the dialogue, you can just widen it out and be able to read it with no problem. It's fantastic. I love the medium. I think it's the
Yes.
future. I definitely think it's the future of comics. And the only reason I think it's not the future of comics right now, that it isn't the present of comics right now, is that there would be an awful lot of really, really pissed off retailers if there were. And we know this because when people have brought it up, you've ended up with a lot of really, really pissed off retailers. So, I can understand where it's a threat to their business, but they should figure out a way to deal with it. I mean, they should figure out a way
oh
to make themselves distribution points for digital comics. I mean, I
no,
figured
here.
should have done that
I,
years ago.
can I just say, man, you just gave me a great idea for any comic book retailer out there. And if anybody, any comic book retailer that's like a real physical store wants to take this, I don't care because I'm about making comic books more prolific. I love them. I have since I was a
Well, hold
kid,
off on
and
it and
that's
let's
just
save it.
honestly what I'm about.
Let's hold off on it and let's save it, refine it, and see what we can do with it before you just tell the
No,
world.
bro, because I ain't got time to do all of what I'm
Then
about to
I'll do it.
explain, and
Just
it's very simple for I'll tell Rob next time I'm at Comic Book University. That's my local comic book store I love. Uh, like if you just take because regardless of what you do, there's still going to be the figures, the pops, the all the collectibles that go along, and people are still going to want that, right? So in my
Right.
yep.
opinion, all you need to do is make it to where like, look, we have this physical comic. But if you bring this up and say you want it digitally, I'm going to scan this QR code and I'm going to give you this and you can go get it and blah, 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 and we're good. I feel like that should be an easy transition.
Well, I'll give you a free idea here that I'm never going to do, so I don't care. And,
That's what I'm saying. I ain't opening a comic book store. That's why I'm giving the idea out for free.
people have been making, the past 2 years, all you've heard about is NFTs, right?
Hmm.
And the
Yeah.
big deal about NFTs, you want to know where the real money in NFTs are? It's figuring out a way to micro NFT so that you can put out a comic and sell it to anybody on an NFT, and they're the only ones who can read it. That's where the money is. You do
Yeah.
this with magazines, you do it with comics. Suddenly you're not selling one NFT for $1 million. You're selling, you don't have to get somebody to pay $1 million for an NFT. You get a million people to pay $1 for an NFT.
Hmm.
That's where the real money is. So, and if someone comes up with that, publishers are going to line up to pay for it. because that's what they're all dying to pay. Because then suddenly you've got the distribution system that protects them.